The movie begins with a man named Hopper. He is a professor and an adventurer, always accompanied by his dog. At one point, while Hopper was exploring, he stumbled upon a car suspected to belong to his parents. It is told that Hopper's parents passed away 40 years ago. Now, Hopper wants to uncover the mystery after finding some evidence left by his parents. Hopper found a rather dark cave. As he approached, he saw a man standing still like a statue. However, when he called out to him, there was no response, and Hopper left after noticing the man was holding a weapon. Upon arriving home, he met a girl named Jackie, along with Jackie's brother named Taylor. Their plan was to go climbing together using their climbing equipment. However, the plan changed, and Professor Hopper will go alone. He returns to the place where he found the mysterious man earlier. After throwing the robe as a precaution, Hopper resumed interacting with the man. However, there was still no response. Slowly, he approached and found an air wall. Behind that wall, there was a temperature difference in the air, which made him even more curious. As he had passed through the wall, the man slowly began to walk away, leaving Professor Hopper behind. Hopper saw the place he entered and saw a flickering light. As he turned around, he heard a frightening sound. Then he came out of the cave. Outside, he was surprised because the day had turned into night. Not only that, his dog was also missing, and even the environment there had changed seasons. We return to where Taylor and his friends are already prepared for their adventure. So their goal is to find a spring that is said to be a fountain of youth, although they don't really believe it. That day also coincided with the time Professor Hopper didn't come home for 2 days. Arriving at a place, a boy named Furby documented his activities because he wanted to become a famous YouTuber. There he saw Professor Hopper's car and an old car belonging to Hopper's parents. As they were getting ready, Furby fell after being pushed by the car door, which led him to discover an old rope that was quite long, leading somewhere. Jackie followed the rope, which led to a cave they decided to enter. Inside the cave, Furby saw some insects that scared him. He decided to wait outside, while Jackie noticed that the end of the rope had been cut, leading to the deep bottom of the cave. They plan to descend below. Meanwhile, Furby will stand guard outside because he's afraid of the insects inside the cave. If something happens, they can also immediately contact each other. As they descended, they also encountered an air wall, where there was a difference in humidity between the partitions. Nevertheless, they eventually disregarded it. Jackie and a girl named Vives tried to explore the cave, leaving Taylor and Kara behind. However, just a few steps, they were startled by the sound of screams. They decided to leave the cave. However, when Jackie climbed the rope, suddenly it snapped, causing Jackie to fall and sprain her ankle. This also resulted in Taylor's finger being broken as he tried to hold Jackie. Taylor then pulled the other rope, and it turned out to be broken too. They thought Furby did it as a joke. Right away, Taylor contacted Furby, but only heard someone whispering for help. The three of them looked for another way, while Jackie, who couldn't walk, waited there.
Bye guys, I'll be here.
Arriving at a place, they found flickering lights similar to what Professor Hopper experienced. So the flickering light represents the transition between day and night. When they enter the cave and pass through the air barrier, inside it will move very slowly, while outside it will move very fast. That's why when Professor Hopper emerged from the cave, the environment there had changed as if it had been years ago. The flickering light is not only due to the fast rotation of the Earth, but also because of the Earth's revolution. The difference is not only in days, but also in years. So when they came out of the cave, they didn't know how long they had been there. Professor Hopper found an unfamiliar car. He investigated and found a bag belonging to Jackie. Then he went back into the cave to search for her. When he re-entered the cave, he left marks along the way so he wouldn't get lost. Then, when he threw it toward the air barrier, the mark stopped in the air and moved again when he also entered. Back when Kara tried to find a way out, she found a broken rope. When she looked down, she also found Furby dead behind that rock. They suspected that Furby's death was due to falling from above when Furby tried to descend using the rope. However, they were confused because all the ropes were cut, as if someone had cut them. Taylor saw Furby's camera still on, and they tried to view the recordings inside it. They were puzzled when the recording turned out to be already 2 days long. In the recording, Furby had not received any news from his friends for 2 days and thought all his friends had died. Then Furby decided to go down to search for his friend's body to retrieve the car keys so he could leave that place. However, as he descended and passed through the air barrier, the camera recorded what Furby saw. Day and year changes occurred, causing the rope outside the cave to age and be eaten away by weather changes, making it fragile and break. After that, Kara intended to climb the cliff without any safety equipment, and she was surprised to see the environment around there. Then Kara tried to seek help using the SOS device, but there was no signal. Therefore, she walked along high places to get a signal. Kara experienced a shocking event. She saw a large storm, and in the sky, she saw something shaped like a large triangle floating in the air, making her scared. Eventually, she returned back into the cave after not getting any help. Suddenly, something appeared from the sky quickly and formed a ladder. Kara tried to climb the ladder to look outside again, but someone appeared, causing Kara to change her mind.
Come on, let's go!
The person wore clothing resembling a superhero and also had advanced gadgets. Immediately, they ran away from that person. However, primitive humans appeared, attacking the masked humans, and easily subdued them using advanced tools. They stopped at a place where the corpse of Professor Hopper's mother was found, which seemed fresh, even though she had died 40 years ago. And also, they found the body of his father, killed by primitive humans. The primitive humans attacked and they fled. Meanwhile, Taylor held them off so that his friends had time to run and hide. Tragically, Taylor was outnumbered and killed on the spot. Then, the primitive humans left. When Kara returned to see Taylor's condition, suddenly the masked person came and took a water sample there. After that, the masked person dragged Taylor and plunged him into the spring. However, the primitive humans came back and attacked. In the spring, Taylor came back to life. Meanwhile, the mask of the hero opened due to the primitive humans, which made it difficult for him to breathe, and eventually he died. Then, Taylor explored the cave passage with a pistol he found there. He found a trace of light and followed it, leading him to meet Professor Hopper, who had been shot in the stomach. Taylor also saw a strange civilization behind the air barrier. However, Professor Hopper, who was still breathing, forbade Taylor from entering there.
Soul can't be eaten the last.
Professor Hopper asked Taylor to leave him there, but Taylor refused and went to seek help using the spring. He left the weapon for Professor Hopper to defend himself. Taylor returned to the spring, plunging Furby's body into it, hoping Furby could come back to life like himself. However, primitive humans attacked them again, causing them to flee. They returned to the previous location, where Taylor had taken the advanced tool that could summon a ladder out of the cave. They tried to climb the ladder. However, they stopped when they saw water beyond the air barrier. When Kara tried to touch the water, suddenly she was pulled by a hand with fingers and nails that didn't seem human. Taylor rushed to save Kara. However, the primitive human pressed a button that caused the ladder to fold back, and they fell. Meanwhile, Kara was dragged by an unknown creature. Due to the vast difference in time, they hadn't fallen to the bottom of the cave yet. However, they were saved by Kara, who already had advanced tools. Kara emerged from behind the water and immediately pulled them one by one. She also used the tool to retrieve their injured friend. Somewhere, Furby came back to life and was confused about his whereabouts. He was amazed by the view of Earth outside the window and the alien-like figure behind the door. Professor Hopper also recovered. Taylor and his friends appeared, explaining that they were heading to Mars to settle in a new home because Earth was old. And again, Professor Hopper was surprised to see his parents and sister still alive, and they were even very young. All thanks to the Fountain of Youth and the other dimension in the cave, which was previously thought to be just a myth, and the movie ends.